Hello, and welcome to another episode of Andrea Speaks TV. I'm your host, Andrea, bringing you commentary you can use. Thank you all so much for subscribing to the channel and for your support. If you have not subscribed, I would like to invite you to subscribe to the channel, join our community. That way you can be informed. You can stay connected whenever I do upload new content every week. So I want to come to you and bring you some news. This story actually caught my attention because as I was reading the article and I also got a chance to watch the actual interview, I said, wow, he's talking about many of the things that I've talked about right here on the channel, Andrea Speaks TV. So I want to come with some information that U.S. Senator candidate Herschel Walker recently spoke on food shortages. So you all make sure that you, again, subscribe to the channel, join our community. All right, so let me bring you some information about it. This information does come from Newsweek, and the title of the article says, Herschel Walker claims there's no food on the shelf in the U.S. and slams President Biden. Okay, so speaking of Herschel Walker, if you are in the state of Georgia, his name may sound very familiar to you. He's considered what many would call a college football superstar, college football Hall of Famer, NFL legend, businessman. But most recently, he is in the running to be a U.S. Senator in the state of Georgia, and he's going against the current U.S. Senator, Ralph Warnock. Okay, so let me bring you some information on this. Now, according to Newsweek, the article says Republican U.S. Senate candidate Herschel Walker claims Sunday that the country is facing a food shortage along with an increase in gas prices, while also targeting President Joe Biden on the country's lack of energy independence. Now, you all know, my supporters, subscribers, aren't these some of the same topics that I've talked about right here on the channel? Okay, so listen at what he had to say. Now, here's a quote. He was quoted as saying, right now, gas prices are going out of the roof. You see, there's no food on the shelf, he said during an interview with Fox News host Maria Bartiromo on Sunday Morning Futures. Now, I'll go back after this video, I'll go back and put a link in the description so that you can go and watch it for yourself, okay? Herschel Walker was also quoted as saying, I think people need to know that, and they're blaming everyone else except themselves. Now, the article continues by saying that the U.S. Department of Agriculture, or USDA, said just this past Friday that grocery store and supermarket prices will rise by another 3 to 4% this year and are, and I quote, expected to exceed historical averages in the inflation rate in 2021. Talking about food prices, y'all. What do you think about that? Okay. Now, the USDA also said that the Consumer Price Index, or CPI, which is an overall measure of economy-wide inflation, rose by 7.9% between February 2021 and February 2022. Okay. The GOP candidate, the article says, who will challenge Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock in the upcoming midterm race in Georgia, blamed the Biden administration for not being energy independent enough, saying that there are, and I quote, enemies negotiating deals for us, which he called ridiculous. Okay, what do you all think about his statement? Okay, he was also quoted as saying, one of the first things they did is they decided they are going to give up our energy, Walker explained. By him, referring to Biden, going out and giving up our energy, now we're not energy independent anymore. Now, again, y'all, those of you all who've been watching my videos, following the channel, you know that these are some of the exact topics that I've been covering. I mentioned the fact that it seems like as a country here in the U.S., we are not energy independent, especially with everything going on between Russia and Ukraine, and being that Russia is a major exporter of energy, of oil, things of that nature. Okay, so it seems like some of the topics that he mentioned are energy independence, as well as the fact that there are food shortages. You know, I don't hear many political candidates, even celebrities. I don't really hear many people talking about food shortages in the news. Do you all? Let me know. Do you hear people, well-known people, celebrities, politicians really speaking out about the fact that, hey, there are food shortages, food prices are getting extremely high? Do you hear people talking about these things, bringing up these topics that we talk about here on the channel, specifically food shortages? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, okay? Also, the article says that Biden has been criticized for the way he is handling inflation, with what the article says around 70% of Americans saying they are not pleased about it, according to an ABC News Ipsos poll last month. The article also says the figure is a little higher than the 69% who disapprove of Biden's response to inflation that was recorded in previous ABC Ipsos polls last year and earlier this year. Now, the article says the poll also found that 70% of respondents are unhappy with the way the president is handling the surge in gas prices, compared to 28% that approve. Okay. However, the article says 77% of Americans back the president's decision to ban Russian oil imports, even if that translate into higher gas prices. Do you agree or disagree with that? Now, we've talked about what's been going on between Russia and Ukraine, and the fact that, according to the article, it says it pushed oil prices up globally, while inflation in the U.S. reached 7.5% in January, the highest figure in 4 decades. Now, the article also says that inflation is expected to reach an average 5.7% in the fourth quarter of this year, Bloomberg reported Sunday. Okay. Now, let's see. That's pretty much what the article says. Now, again, I'm not here to tell you who to vote for if you're in the state of Georgia. I'm not here to tell you to vote for this political candidate. While I do agree with many of the topics that he covered in his interview, again, at the end of the video, I will go back and put the link in the description so you can watch it and hear his words. I don't know all of his views and, what he stands for, things that he advocates for. And so, I'm going to do a little more research. Like I said, it did catch my attention because many of his concerns that he mentioned in this interview were some that I've already discussed. We've talked about it right here on the channel. So again, after the video is over with, make sure you check the link in the comments. I'm going to post the link to the original video. Also, make sure you check the link in the description to get your emergency food supply, your survival needs. Just go to my website, which is preparewithandrea.com. Again, to get your emergency food supply and your survival needs, make sure you check out my website, preparewithandrea.com. Well, thank you all so much for supporting the channel. You can follow me on Instagram at Andrea Speaks TV. Again, you can follow me on Instagram at Andrea Speaks TV. And thank you all so much for your support. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you agree or disagree with the U.S. Senate candidate Herschel Walker's stance on food prices and some of the other things that he mentioned in his interview? He talked about many different things, but particularly, you all know I've been covering food shortages for several months now. That definitely caught my attention. So again, I will say this, I'm not saying that I endorse this candidate, but I will say that, based on some of the things he said, we do need to, we're supposed to hold our elected officials accountable to do what's in the best interest of, we the American people. And it sounds like, based on what he said in this interview, some of the things that I agree with, it seems like, he is, really taking a stance on some of the very critical issues that many people like you and I have in the country. So I'm definitely going to do a little more research and see what he stands for. But I did agree with what he said about the food shortages, gas prices, and as well as the energy independence. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. I appreciate you all so much for watching. Stay tuned. I will be dropping more videos right here on the channel, Andrea Speaks TV. Make sure you're subscribed so that you'll get notified. When you do subscribe, make sure you hit all notifications. That way, whenever I do upload new content each week, you'll be informed and you'll be able to stay connected. Thank you all so much. Have a good night and stay tuned for more from Andrea Speaks TV.